Hey everybody, this is Tech Guy Charlie. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you the crucial settings and features that you should tweak and turn on your new Galaxy Z Fold 6 to take full advantage of your new phone. Now, before we begin, I want to point out that you can make these changes on the main screen as well as on the cover screen. The choice is yours, but it's kinda easier to do this on the main screen because you get the main as well as the sub menu of the settings together. So I'm just gonna demonstrate on the main screen. Alright, so first I want you guys to head on into the settings, scroll down and look for device care. Inside, you want to tap on the performance profile and change this to light. And this is going to do two things. It's going to increase your battery life and it's going to make the phone run cool because the light mode prioritizes the battery life and cooling efficiency over processing speed. And no, you are not going to notice any difference in the performance even while multitasking because the processor of the Z Fold 6 is insanely fast even in the light processing mode. But you will notice a substantial increase in the battery life. Now, speaking of the battery, if you want to prolong the overall lifespan of your Z Fold's battery, you want to tap on battery in the device care, and once you're inside, head on into battery protection and switch this on. You see, the thing is, keeping your battery full at 100% charge for a long time can reduce its lifespan. And these three options will help you prolong the lifespan of your phone's battery. So the basic option charges the battery to 100%, then stops until the battery level drops down to 95, and then once again it will charge back to 100%. The adaptive option is the best because this will charge the battery to 80% while you are asleep and it will charge to 100% just before you wake up. So this is going to be very useful if you leave your phone plugged in overnight. And lastly, you've got the maximum protection, which will always limit the maximum charge level to 80%. Now ideally you want to keep this on maximum, but sometimes 80% is not adequate, especially on the Z Fold because you've got dual screens and a tiny battery. So you want to keep this on adaptive if you feel that 80% is not lasting you the entire day. So let's go back to the device care menu and here tap on auto optimization and then auto restart. Inside, switch on auto restart when needed. Now your phone will automatically restart whenever it detects that it's having performance issues. And if you'd like, you can also set your own restart schedule. I usually prefer the phone to restart on Monday 3 AM so that the phone is nice and fresh, ready for the week. Now, one feature which is completely unnecessary and should be switched off is the RAM Plus, and you'll find it inside memory, and there it is. So this feature uses the main flash memory as the system RAM. By default, this is set to 8 GB, which I think is completely unnecessary on a phone like the Z Fold 6 because you've already got 12 GB of dedicated system RAM. So it's a good idea to switch this off because you're gonna gain 8 GB of additional storage and it will also save your flash memory from additional wear and tear. Alright, so we're back after a restart, and before we continue, I'm gonna drop down the quick panel and switch on dark mode. This is gonna change the theme of the phone from white to black, which is gonna be easier on the eyes and is also gonna make filming the video a lot easier. Anyways, let's switch over to the cover screen and open Samsung Keyboard. You can open it in any text messaging application or the built-in Samsung Notes app. Now, one thing I've noticed is that the keyboard doesn't have any gesture input switched on by default. And gesture input is really cool. It allows you to type by swiping over the words and quickly type out your messages. So if you want to enable this on your Z Fold 6, tap on the settings button in the keyboard toolbar. Once you're in the settings, scroll down and tap on swipe, touch and feedback. Inside, tap on keyboard swipe controls and set this to swipe to type. Now you'll be able to type messages by swiping your finger over the words. It takes a bit of practice, but once you get a hang of this, you'll be able to type out long messages fairly quickly. Awesome, right? So let's make a few more useful changes to the keyboard. So once again, we are gonna head back into the keyboard settings. And this time we're gonna tap on layout, and here we are going to switch off the number keys and then enable the alternate characters. And you'll notice that this is gonna make the keyboard a little compact, and it also adds the number keys to the top word row of the keyboard, and you also get some additional characters. So while typing, you can long press to add the additional character or numbers to whatever you are typing. Just makes the keyboard a bit more functional and compact. Now check this out. This is the same Samsung keyboard, but it's got all of these cool typing effects and different colorful themes. So if you want the Samsung keyboard on your phone to look like this and have all of these effects, what you want to do is open the Galaxy Store and search and download an app called Good Lock. So this is the one. Now inside Good Lock, look for a module which says Keys Cafe. Now download this. Once you do, open Keys Cafe. Here, open Style Your Own Keyboard and make sure that it is switched on. And you've got tons of themes to choose from. And if you want those cool typing effects, tap on effects and choose whichever one you like. So using this, you can make the keyboard look really awesome and cool. Now let's make some crucial changes to the gallery. So the first thing we're gonna do is enable a feature that lets you scroll in full screen. Look how awesome the gallery looks. So if you want your gallery to look like this while you are scrolling, go to the gallery settings by tapping on these three lines and then select settings. Over here, enable full screen scrolling. So after enabling this, you will be able to scroll in full screen through your gallery. It just makes the gallery look super cool. Oh, and one more thing that I've noticed is that by default, the gallery does not show you every album that's on your phone. You'll have to tap on View All to see all your albums. And this can get very confusing at times. However, you can tap on these three dots and then tap on Select Essential Albums and check the boxes of the albums that you want to see when you are in the Album tab of your gallery. Now, if you don't like this feature, you can always switch it off by tapping on the hamburger menu and then going to the gallery settings and switching off Select Essential Albums. Now the gallery is going to show you all the folders or albums that are on your phone. However, you still have the option to hide individual albums by going into this menu. So it's kind of pointless to have two similar features, so why not switch one of these off to avoid confusion. Alright, so now let me show you how to unlock a bunch of hidden features in the gallery. So what you want to do is head on into the gallery settings and then scroll all the way down to About Gallery. Now here, repeatedly tap on the version until you see a message Gallery Labs is enabled. So this unlocks a secret menu which contains a lot of cool settings and features that were hidden from you. Now here, you want to enable a feature called Timeline in Album. So once you enable this, whenever you open an album, so let's open the camera album, you'll notice that all your photos and videos are now grouped by date. So this is a side-by-side comparison, and I think grouping by date is a good idea. Okay, so one more feature that you can enable in the Gallery Labs is Show Trash Storage Info. It's under One UI 2.x. So now the phone is going to show you the amount of used capacity in the trash whenever you delete something from the gallery. So this is kind of useful. Alright, so when you've got an app open on the main screen, you might have noticed the taskbar at the bottom, and this lets you switch between the apps. Like from WhatsApp, we can quickly switch over to the gallery or to the camera. There is one more thing that you can do, and that is you can long press on an app icon and drag it to specific areas of the screen to make it run in the pop-up or in the split view mode. And this is such a powerful way to multitask on your Z Fold. However, occasionally you might come across apps that don't work in the split or the pop-up view. They will always launch in full screen. This is because the app is not optimized for the Z Fold. But thankfully, we can fix this issue by going into the settings, then into the advanced features, and here you want to tap on Labs and enable the multi-window for all apps. And this is gonna make the apps that aren't compatible with the Fold work in the pop-up or in the split view mode. As you can see, this app was not working in the split view mode before, but now it is. So you must absolutely enable this feature on your Z Fold. Also, the other day someone asked how do you disable the apps that show up in recents. So when you are in this menu, tap on these three dots and then settings. From here, turn off show recommended apps, and now you won't see those apps in the recent menu. So you might have noticed that the phone locks itself when you change over from the main to the cover screen even if you're using an app. And upon unlocking the phone, you'll see that the app is no longer there. You can change how this works by going into the settings, then display, and here you want to look for continue apps on cover screen. Now inside you want to enable the apps that you want to continue using on the cover screen when you close the phone. So for demonstration, if I enable this for WhatsApp, you will notice that WhatsApp will automatically switch over to the cover screen when we close the phone. So just like that. And you've seen without it, the phone just locks itself. So it's a super useful feature, and you want to configure this depending on the choice of apps that you want to continue using from the main to the cover screen. This is probably the most annoying thing ever, but when you press and hold the power button on your phone, you'll notice that it launches the Bixby personal assistant instead of showing you the menu which lets you restart or power off your phone. And if you're like me and if you don't use Bixby, then what you want to do is drop down the quick panel all the way down and tap on the power button. Here, tap on side button settings, and under press and hold, change to power off menu. And now the phone will show you the power off menu instead of launching Bixby. Now, when you change the wallpaper for the very first time, what I want you guys to do is pinch in on the home screen and then go to wallpaper and style. Tap on color palette and enable this feature. And what this feature does is that it picks out the colors that are in the wallpaper and uses them as the theme of your phone. So look at the preview and pick the color palette that you like. Once you are done, you will notice that the theme of your phone will match the colors of your wallpaper, which is really awesome. Also, keep in mind that you will have to separately change the wallpaper for the cover screen, because on this phone you can have different wallpapers for the main and the cover screen. But I kinda prefer having the same wallpaper on both for consistency. And you know what? This particular wallpaper looks really nice on the navy Z Fold 6. And if you want, you can grab this wallpaper from my Flickr account. I also feel that the default clock on the lock screen is kinda boring. So let's change this by long pressing on an empty area on the lock screen and then unlocking the phone. And you'll be presented with a live preview of the lock screen. Here you can tap on the clock and pick something that suits your style. So let's pick this, resize the clock, select a color, and then reposition the clock in the middle of the screen and maybe change the font. Looks a lot better, right? And there is just so much customizability on the lock screen itself that now you can even add a widget on the lock screen itself. There are a ton of these to choose from, like you can have the phone show you your upcoming events, alarm, pedometer, and even the weather. You know what? This is why I love Samsung's One UI. There is just so much that you can customize and play around with. Now, whatever changes that you make to the lock screen items on the cover screen will also reflect on the main screen of the Z Fold 6. And likewise, if you make any changes to the lock screen items on the main screen, they will also reflect on the cover screen's lock screen. So keep that in mind. Alright, so the other day someone commented that you cannot see the messages until you tap on the notifications on the lock screen. Well, that is kinda true. However, what you don't know is that you can change how the phone shows you the notification. To change this, once again, we have to keep our finger on the lock screen and then unlock the phone. Here, tap on the notification icons and change this from icons only to details. So yeah, now your phone is gonna show you the notifications right on the lock screen. However, you might have noticed that the messages are still hidden. So if you want to see the actual contents of the messages, you will need to head on into the settings and then tap on notifications. Inside, tap on lock screen notifications and then on the gear icon in front of show content. Here you want to choose the apps that can show you content in the lock screen notifications. So I've got this enabled for WhatsApp, and now it's going to show us the message contents of WhatsApp on the lock screen. So yeah, this is a personal choice. You want to change this setting as per your requirement. Now, did you know that your Z Fold comes with a file sharing feature called QuickShare, which is similar to Apple AirDrop? And with this, you can share files, including large videos, with any Android smartphone or even with a Windows PC completely wirelessly. It is super convenient. But this feature is switched off by default. So to enable, on your phone, you will have to drop down the quick panel all the way down, and from the quick settings, look for the quick share toggle. Here it is. And you'll notice that it will be set to no one. You want to change this to contacts only if you want to share files with people who are already in your contacts, or set this to everyone if you want to share files with a stranger. Doing this will make your phone discoverable, but don't worry because you still have to manually tap on accept if a stranger shares a file with you. So yeah, this feature is super useful. Samsung Galaxy smartphones have a feature that lights up the edges of the screen whenever the phone gets a new notification, and this makes the phone look awesome, especially at night. But by default, this feature is disabled, so you will have to turn it on. Let me show you how. Alright, so drop down the quick panel and head on into the settings. Here, tap on notifications. Inside, tap on notification pop-up style and make sure that this setting is set to brief. Otherwise, you will not be able to choose the edge lighting. So set this to brief and then tap on edge lighting style to choose the type of edge lighting that you want to see. Now there are plenty of edge lighting styles to choose from. My personal favorite is the glitter effect because this looks phenomenal. Once you select the effect, go to advanced and change the width from narrow to wide and duration from short to long. This makes the glitter effect a little bit thick and makes it last a little bit longer. And lastly, make sure show even while screen is off is enabled if you want to see the effect when the screen is off. It's really strange, but the Z Fold 6 does not come with a dedicated MP3 or a music player. So let's fix that by downloading Samsung Music from the Play Store. You know, this used to come pre-installed on Samsung phones, but for some reason Samsung decided not to include it on their newer smartphones. But yeah, this is a nice music player if you are not into streaming music from Spotify or Amazon Music. I also recommend hiding the navigation bar that appears at the bottom of the screen. The advantage of this is that it gives you more screen area for your content. Look how the keyboard fits properly. So what you want to do is go to settings, then display, scroll down to navigation bar. Now inside here, change the navigation type from buttons to swipe gestures. So swipe gestures are awesome. It turns the edges of the screen into the back key, which makes it very easy to use the phone with one hand. So now swipe in from the edges to go back. Swiping up from the middle takes us to our home screen, and if you swipe up from the middle and hold, that's gonna open up recents. And doing this gesture will let you go back and forth between your recent apps. But the biggest advantage is that you'll be able to use the main screen of your Fold 6 with your left hand. This is because with gestures you can navigate using the edges and the bottom of the screen. So this allows you to hold the phone with either your left or your right hand. And just for reference, if you're using the navigation buttons, you will not be able to use the Fold 6 with your left hand because your fingers are not gonna reach the navigation buttons. But you can with the swipe gestures. And lastly, if you want to hide this navigation hint, what you want to do is head back into the Good Lock app, which you have already downloaded before, and here you want to download the Navstar module. Once downloaded, open it and enable it. Next, switch on enable extra gesture setting. Now we're gonna go to the phone settings, then display, and scroll down to navigation bar. Here let's tap on more options and we will switch off the gesture hint. And doing this will hide the navigation gesture hint at the bottom of the screen, giving you a cleaner look. And lastly, if you want to hide the bar that appears at the bottom of the keyboard, then you want to head on into the settings and search for keyboard button on navigation bar. This along with show button to hide keyboard off. And as you can see, this will hide the bar that appears at the bottom of the keyboard, making the keyboard fit at the bottom of the screen. But this is totally up to you. You want to make this change as per your requirement. Samsung smartphones have a feature called Edge Panels, and these give you easy access to your favorite apps, screenshot tool, and a lot more. Let me show you how to customize this. Okay, so the location of the edge panels is shown by this white line over here, and this is called the edge panel handle. And you gotta swipe in like this to open up the edge panels. And it looks like we've got a single edge panel, but check this out. They have added the Smart Select screenshot tool to the app's edge panel, which is kinda nice. On older versions of One UI, we had a separate edge panel called Smart Select, which had the screenshot tool. But it looks like now they have integrated this into the app's edge panel. Anywho, if you want to add more edge panels to this, what you want to do is open the edge panels and tap on the gear icon. That's going to take you to the edge panel settings. So by default, only one edge panel will be enabled. So in addition to this, I want you guys to enable the weather and the tools edge panel. And if you want, you can also enable the clipboard. Now, while you're here, go back to the app's edge panel and then tap on edit. Then tap on these three dots and then enable show app names. So now you'll see the names of apps in the app's edge panel instead of the icons. And finally, just drag and drop the apps that you use frequently to this list, so you'll have easy access to them through the app's edge panel. And it is the exact same thing on the main screen. So whatever changes you make to the edge panels on the cover screen will also reflect on the main screen. So check it out. Now we have all of these different edge panels available for use. Look at this, it's even got a compass. By the way, you can also customize the edge panel handle. So what we are going to do is go back into the edge panel settings, tap on the back button, and here we are going to tap on handle. Now from here, you can also change the position of the handle, so you can grab this and place the handle anywhere you like. You can also change its size and also make it completely transparent so that you don't have the handle line on the right side of your display, but the handle is still there. So if you swipe in, you'll see that the edge panels will still open. Alright, so let's stop here because this video is already like 20 minutes long. Stay tuned for the next video because in the next video, I'm going to show you how to customize the home screen and make it look awesome. Alright, so thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Tech Guy Charlie signing off.